everyone. I'm Red, and you're about to watch episode 7 of Fireside Chat with fellow DFFOO content creators Jin Lee, Lidz87, and 40 the Broadway Saiyan. If you don't know what Fireside Chat is, it is a monthly podcast stream where the four of us get together and chat about the upcoming events in DFFOO. So we usually stream either the Tuesday or Wednesday after the community stream every month, depending on when events are going live. So you can usually find us on Lidz's channel, usually around 10:30 Eastern. But yeah, in this one we chatted about the QoL updates that we got. We talked about First Queen Terra. Oh, my girl. I'm so fucking excited for her. Anyway, we talked about her coming up. We talked about Garland. We talked about Deuce and Dash and Young and Mog and Faris and Ignis and all those characters coming up. We did a nice little Q&A. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we talked about. I think that was like the core of it. Jin Lee is also posting this episode on his own YouTube channel with his own intro and thoughts and everything. So be sure to check it out. And finally, I don't know when this is going to be uploaded. Hopefully before a stream. But I will not be pulling for Terra on her release because I am waiting for the custom cosplay of Terra that I ordered to arrive. Because I will be pulling for Terra LD Burst in Terra cosplay. I've got the green wig and everything. So enjoy Fireside Chat episode 7.
Hello.
What up?
What's up, everyone?
Hey.
Hopefully everybody's doing well. We're just gonna hang out for a little bit before we start the show, and we're gonna talk about Teddy. Hi, Teddy.
My best
You see my
bear.
knees.
Look at my best
knees.
bear.
Look at him.
Look at my knees.
Oh.
Your knee.
Testing to see if there's bit voice. There is no bit voices. There's never been bit voices. Teddy. So what is Teddy gonna be drinking tonight?
He had a lot of water, and then Halcyon took him out. So I think he's good on beverages for a little bit.
That's why. All right, that's why Halcyon brought him. Gotcha. Aw.
Right? He did not want to come back inside. Right, Bear?
It's nice outside. White paws. There we go. That's what's up. That's where it's at.
White paw. Yeah, chugging white paw.
White paws. So what's going on, guys? Hello. Cerberus, what's up? Oh, look, 40 the Broadway Saiyans in the chat. Holy shit, guys, it's 40. Gosh damn. Wow. We got royalty here.
Celebrity setting.
Good shit, guys. Good shit. Did you guys do the boss rush? Nels did it, right? That's enough from Rez.
I haven't even done Trey Lufenia.
I have you.
Oh, no. Okay.
I'm all caught up.
I'm caught up too.
What's that like? What's it like being caught up?
It feels good because
You don't have any of those notifications. It's very nice. You look in your missions tab and there's nothing to collect.
What's
Which
up?
could be sad if you're broke though.
Yeah, it's always delayed, Dragoon. We don't know why.
It's that internet of hers.
It's nice because you don't
pretty
have
Bojank.
to. You can farm Tales of Christoria because you don't have to farm Opera Omnia. You can farm Disgaea. But yeah, no. For some reason, Rez's video has always been like that since the beginning of time here.
I don't know why.
I don't know either. It's so strange because 40 is a synchronized find, so I don't know.
I use my former godfather powers to make that happen. My former
I use mine
powers.
to stop time.
Yeah, I don't know why it is. Like, we're all using the same Skype plus Discord audio combo.
Yeah. Why do we do that? Because the voice was crispier, right? In Discord?
I think
so.
Wait, crispier? What?
Yep, it's crispier. It's crispier.
Give a nice
Oh,
crunch.
J Juice. I appreciate it, fam.
Hey, J Juice with the
I
resub.
gotta do the hype. There we go. Hype. Wait, where's my hearts? I gotta give the hearts, man. There we go. Up, left, right. There we go. Much love. There we go, guys. All right, we're gonna give it a few more, and then we're gonna get started, guys. It's gonna be a fun night, per usual. So,
I'm memeing in chat.
I can tell.
People are like, "What is he talking about?"
It's the new character that's coming on in the JP side of the game. Did you guys see JP? What's his face? Jaeger?
I don't know, some weirdo armored dude.
Didn't his face looks pretty realistically weird, right?
Yeah, it's
At least from the artwork.
well, I mean, it fits the art style of Crystal Chronicles. So
He's apparently OP.
I mean, they would have to make him OP for people to pull on him. Otherwise, no one would ever give him a second look.
Yeah,
It's just like Kais.
Jagrin crystallization. If enemy with 3 levels of this overhead is present, triggers Crystal Fist. So it's like a defense ignoring melee attack. Hold on. Let me see. I have to wait for the full translation. Kuja's getting another rework.
Ooh.
What?
See, that's spicy.
The Lightning BT Plus is what I'm about.
Yeah, Kuja with his Burst Plus, he's going to be getting another rework. Lightning should be getting one too.
And Balthier LD coming to JP. So we get to see the rework and the LD boards.
That's going to be exciting. Yeah, I'm very excited to see the LD boards.
Yeah.
It's going to be like 100% brave damage up. Watch. What is it right now in global? 20? 20%, right? 20 and
I think it's
brave
20.
HP?
Yeah,
It's either 30-20 or I think it's 20-20 though. Yeah.
Serah is 30 with 20.
Sarah's 30, right?
30.
Serah is more. Yeah, she's better.
Ooh, which we're going to talk about her later in the show. All right, guys, y'all's ready? Let's get started.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. So what's going on, everybody? Welcome to our monthly Fireside Chat podcast, episode 7, a monthly podcast where 4 friends get together and talk about the City Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. So for those of you joining us, or those new to the show, or those not familiar with my fellow hosts, can we please introduce ourselves along with what you guys are drinking tonight?
I am Jin Lee. I am drinking water only, and I started 40 just because I am the new DFFOO overlord and the new godfather, so I have all the rights to start. But no, I'm Jin Lee on YouTube, and you can see me in videos beating 40 in pool battles and taking the godfather title, and meme pool videos and how to play videos, etc. All right, my underling 40. Go ahead.
Okay, your underling is going to talk now. I'm the Broadway Saiyan, Jin's underling, because I'm no longer the godfather since I lost brutally to a pool battle, but it's okay. I'll take that title back one of these days. I do content on DFFOO. I played this guy RPG, and recently I've been memeing about random things that I find humor in and try to push it on people playfully, because that's just who I am.
I feel like that's a forever thing, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What do you mean it's a forever thing?
Oh, you've always been like that, man. Ah, shit.
Okay. But I'm not drinking anything tonight. I probably should have, but it's a little too late now. Yeah. So.
Well, it's 10:47 p.m. for me, and I'm having a White Claw. So I'm Rez. This is Teddy on my lap. There he is, right there. And I make pull videos and reaction videos for DFFOO and Fire Emblem Heroes and Tales of Christoria. And I am indisputably the underdog. So, yeah.
And I am Lidz87 tonight. I am drinking whiskey with Dr. Pepper. I wish it was cherry Dr. Pepper because that actually goes very well together. I am also a fellow content creator for Opera Omnia. Started up Disgaea too, but here we are tonight. All right, guys. So thank you guys for joining us. And one of the very first things that we are going to talk about, really, what have you guys been up to lately in Opera Omnia since the past month? Since our last
pitying
podcast.
Everything, fucking pitying everything, and losing all my tickets. That's what I've been up to. No, I'm kidding. I'm over the salt. It's fine.
Wait, who'd you have to pity? Serah, right?
Cecil, Serah. Well, not Cecil. Celis. Celis. I got her LD on the 300G token pull, but I still count that because like who needs books at this point? And I literally have like 500 power stones because of this last month. And I pitied Serah without a burst. And then I spent like a total of 700 tickets on Ishtola and RNAL. Did not get either. So it's been a fun month.
Hey, Jin Lee, can we link your video to saving? I feel like that's a perfect segue for that. Do not.
Oof. Ow.
She's trying to push me down.
I'm gonna hide for the rest of the show. All right, guys, good luck. Oh, damn. Well, I'm sorry that you had to pity. Hopefully your RNG luck will turn around with Terra's LD and Burst debut.
That's what I'm holding on to. I swear, if it hasn't been just my luck stockpiling to just all culminate on Terra's banner, I may actually scream.
Just catch it on camera. The anger.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that's what I've been up to.
What about 40 or Jen? What have you guys been up to?
Jen, would you like to go next? You are the godfather.
I feel. I don't know. Like outside of like Serah, it feels like a pretty slow month. I mean, my luck was a little bit better than Rez, so it was pretty calm. Pretty calm.
A little bit better.
But yeah, I mean, Serah was the big thing for me. If she didn't have such a huge splash, then I would have said this would have been a pretty blah month. All the characters were pretty okay. I mean, just mainly the archer people. I just didn't even pool on Waka just because I was like, I'm not going to use him, and I already have the burst, so there's no reason for me to use tickets on him just because even if I have a bunch, I'm just going to do a big dump on Terra, probably.
Okay. 40.
Global's treated me nice this month. I got everything mostly with 50 tickets or less. I wasn't planning on pulling Waka. I was actually going to skip Waka, but I got him on the daily free single. So I was like, oh, looks like I have Waka. And I got Ishtola Burst on the free pull for
holy shit.
Was it Trey's? Yeah, Trey's LD. I got Ishtola Burst for free, and I was planning on not pulling for that too. So Global's been great to me. I've been caught up. JP has not been so kind, but we'll see what happens. And then I've just been juggling time with DFFOO and Disgaea RPG now. So I have greatly grown to appreciate DFFOO though for its gacha rates.
I mean, isn't that like literally shafted. Every other gacha game, every time we venture out to different gacha games, we're like, oh, we gotta come back to DFFOO.
This was a mistake.
So much better.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Tales of Cristoria right now.
Lies.
You're getting some good ROI.
Yes, I am.
This guy is the one that's been treating you pretty badly. That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah. Hey, just give it some time because you guys remember, like back in the day, even Opera Omnia didn't have a pity system. All right, so
that's true.
Didn't even have guaranteed gold,
right.
Guaranteed 5-star multis.
No, that's true.
So, and players were throwing a lot of resources back in the day for like Beatrix, for example. I heard some horror stories about Beatrix, or when EX weapons came out. So, yeah. So, me myself last month has been it's been nice. I wouldn't say things have been difficult, so to say. I did take some revenge on some of these Lufenias that I couldn't do on the JP side. Like, for example, the Y'shtola Lufenia. That one kicked my ass on the JP side because I didn't have the ideal characters. But on Global, that was... I loved being able to beat that. And I picked up a little bit more LDs than I thought. I did have to pity... I believe it was Y'shtola's LD weapon, but I did pick up her burst along the way. So I am ready for her burst plus in the future on the global side of the game. And who else do I have? I have Aranea, Celeste. Oh my gosh, I am loving Celeste.
She's so much fun.
Yeah.
I have been really enjoying her and Trey, because I never really got Trey on the JP side, so they're great. Have you guys been using some of these recent characters more often? Have you guys been enjoying? Which ones?
Trey I had built since his EX Plus, so I already knew how he is, and it's just amazing the way that he plays because of his traps outside of his LD debuff is you can't do anything about it. The enemies can't do anything about it. They're just overhead traps, and then they go off based on your teammates or anyone active. And then the instant break debuff is crazy. And these are all things he already had. So his LD just adds an extra counter debuff. So it's pretty insane. Yeah.
J-Juice gifted a sub to the I thought it said the Broadway Saiyan. The Broadway Saiyan.
The Broadway Saiyan.
The Broadway
my new
Saiyan.
name.
Thank you, J-Juice, for the gift to the Broadway Saiyan. Yeah, no, Trey, like, he's, man, I agree, Jen. I'm loving him. He's great. Love what he does. EX ability.
Because that EX debuff counter, like instant break EX debuff is like, it could be abused really badly with any counter unit, because any counter will just instantly break the enemy and they'll just never have Brave, like, ever. Like, I ran him with Fujin when he had his EX Plus, and that was one of my favorite teams, Trey and Fujin, and like Charlotta.
Back in the day.
Yeah, it's EX Plus.
So, how about you, Rez? Who have you been enjoying?
My girls, Aerith and Celis. My girls. I've been having so much fun with both of them. Pretty much every fight that I've used one in, I end up bringing the other. They're all fully sphered with max spheres. I purpled a few EXs that I had no intention of purpling just for their spheres. So that was a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of fun with Serah. You know, she did make me pity her without the burst, but she's been worth it. Lots of fun. Love, bringing her. And I think I ended up doing Lufenia with like Serah, Celis, and Aerith, and it was a lot of fun. And Trey has been great. Trey was my one lucky banner this month, and so I'm really glad that I was able to get his LD because he's just been a blast.
Nice. J-Unit just gifted a sub to Jin Lee. J-Unit. Hold on. I lost my train of thought. No, Aerith, yes. Aerith, have been enjoying her also. Trey has been great. Now, mentioning Serah, should we just talk about Serah already? She was a little bit for later in the video, but I felt like that's a nice segue, so to say, to talk about her. So, it turns out that Jin Lee was correct. Jin Lee did mention, I believe, what was it in a video? You mentioned it somewhere that you foresaw Serah getting...
Aren't I always correct?
Sometimes, not all the time, sometimes. That Serah would be rework.
Right. I did mention it a couple times throughout Discord, but like in our last episode of the Fireside Chat, we were discussing like what was the possibility of her getting a rework, or would it be Titus or Titus or whatever? And obviously it wasn't Titus.
Oh, that's right.
With that bug. Yeah, so it was Serah, and she came with a rework, and she is I'm gonna say like the best unit so far, like released in a while. Like I feel that she's better than Balthier, and I feel that she's better than Ashley Pestle. Outside of your need for a burst. And I would say and Pestle is like the most hyped character in for a long time. He's been the most hyped up for ages. And then I think she actually If you don't need healing, obviously she doesn't bring healing. She is a better unit than him in most cases. But you can always bring both as well, obviously.
Hashtag why not both?
Yeah, right?
Right.
Hashtag why not both? Yeah, I think it took everybody. Well, it took me by surprise. I'm sure a lot of people too. I was seriously thinking, like, it was in the back of my mind also that it could have been, you know, the one they called the tripods or Titus because of that bug. I was like, oh, and we all know that someone at Square Enix loves Titus because they love to bring his stuff early on the global side of the game. Yes, I said his name in 3 different ways, but that I was under the same mindset. I was like, gosh damn, they're gonna bring him in with his LD early. What are they gonna do with his boards? Is he gonna be like too strong right now? What is going to happen with that? But no, I'm surprised and happy that they made adjustments to Serah herself, because we all know when she came out on the JP side of the game, she was so underwhelming. Like, you guys, like, a lot of players, they're like, oh, she didn't get a rework, blah blah blah. But imagine that, but now without her boards, you know, the brave damage up, the HP damage up towards the party members. And we got that, and I just believe that she fits into so many team compositions now.
Yeah, she's really fantastic. The only thing she's missing is healing, but otherwise she covers like every other role that you would need. Like, she's your buffer, she's your debuffer, she's your aura bot, obviously, brave damage up, HP damage up, and battery as well. And then it's not like you need her generic debuff. So if you push them off, it's also fine. She still works everything else really well. I remember we had this conversation. I don't know if I was on TCC or if it was in Fireside, but we were talking about Vincent and how they handled Vincent. Like, most of the community was disappointed in Vincent. It did prove out to be that he was useful and became pretty decent, but most of the community was disappointed at what they gave Vincent. And then people were asking me on my thoughts, like, they hope that I'm as defensive of Serah as I am Vincent. And I remember responding that Vincent is a different, in the sense that he had to be brought completely brand new from a GL, and so the abilities of what they can give him is a lot different. And then but Serah was like, there was no excuse for Serah to be that bad, because she was part of the whole timeline, and that they should have given her at least up to par of what everyone else was getting at the time of her release. So I think they kind of did a balance there where they were like making up for what they did with Vincent and also fixing what they did with Serah. And so they kind of, like, for GL, they fixed Serah just as an apology for Vincent, I guess, which I don't think is necessary. But yeah, they kind of did an apology for Vincent and fixed their boo-boo of making Serah pretty bad. And it gave us a nice surprise too. So I think it was really well done on their part.
Yeah. Raz, what do you think about Serah?
I've been loving her. I mean, I was very salty at her for making me pity her, but she's been so much fun, and she's adorable. Like that, her alt costume, I was very excited to give it to her, and the bow costume skin, I've equipped it to all. I forgot to actually press enter on the on my alert to let everybody know in Discord that we were live. But hey, I'm usually 30 minutes late to everything anyway. But yeah, I've been really enjoying using Serah. She's a lot of fun. Like, she's not there for damage. She's there to enable the rest of your team. And I love those kinds of characters. So I'm very excited to use her with my girl, Terra.
And I would... Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to add, like, and some people like talk about her like lack of damage. You have to account for her battery as well as part of damage, and then also, like, she's the one that will get she has the encouragement armor, so when that gets reworked, she also will benefit from that. So she's actually really well off for the future as well, because support units last a long time, and she has that encouragement rework armor. She's going to fit into a lot of fights, especially just the way that she's built. And people concerned with the lack of a rework to her base kit, but I think most people didn't realize how great her base kit was. It didn't really need a rework because
So much battery.
Mm-hmm.
it's just her whole kit. That's why I loved her like for a long time. She was my most used DFFO unit because her base kit is really solid. And I think the lockout was the cursed arts for most everyone that didn't grind the hell out of her. That when she's missing those cursed arts, she becomes much, much worse of a character, sadly. So I think that's why most people were unfamiliar with how good Serah has been. And so now that it's easier to get her cursed arts, and she's so much better now, then everyone gets to see how great she is.
Excuse me, they're blessed arts because they make her more powerful. If they were cursed, it would reduce her stats. Okay, well, we got to correct that.
It's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. If you don't have it, you're really, really shafting her. But if you do have it, she's in it.
But I feel like at least with her, it's a little bit easier to get her cursed art, so to say. Because I know with other characters like Vivi, well, I forgot which one, charge and attack speed or some shit like that, along with like attack 108. Which, if you don't have the log passes, it's harder to get. But with Serah, if you pick up the double cursed arts, that's automatically a 2-star. So for her, in terms of those conditions, it's a little bit easier to do so compared to someone like Vivi.
You would think.
But it's all
grinding her arts it's all the same essentially, and grinding her arts was the absolute worst time I've had in DFFO ever. Like I grinded her when her EX came out, when her cursed arts first came out. Grinded that Vayne event so much. I finished Vayne, I finished Zac, didn't get a single double curse for her. Then I had to grind the Cosmos co-op that she came back on. I grinded that so much, and then when I finally got the 3 of them, I pretty much fainted in like release of my relief, whatever. It was awful.
Yeah, it was not fun grinding cursed arts back in the day, or even just perfect arts in general back in the day. Gosh damn,
yeah,
before the mod
back
pass?
in the day it was awful. Yeah, it was awful.
I think I remember
this is before Edojas and before mock pass, because later when we got Edojas it became relatively okay, but this was Edogas. This was like silver silver arts only.
That was bad.
But then the Cosmos, I think it came with, I can't remember anymore. It's been a while. That was just the worst grinding experience I had in the game. But it's been worth it. She's been amazing return on investment.
I definitely agree, and just wait until she gets her, because she is a candidate for a burst weapon because she is a sequel character. So can you imagine that 40 on the JP side when Serah comes out there with her LD revamped, with her rework, with her revamped LD boards, with her burst weapon, her burst plus? Oh,
she's gonna be pretty OP. I think she's gonna be great. She's fantastic now on global, and that did definitely take me by surprise, because the video I put out for her, I memed a little bit originally because of how disappointing she was, and then when they tweeted that out and I saw the video and I saw the increases to the regen and the added, HP attack up, was it brave damage up, and just everything else that she did that she does better, I was like, wow, she's loaded now as an Aura bot. And I can definitely see where Jin is coming from, where she actually can function better than Paladin Cecil in many cases. Also, she's not locked to an element, which I think that's fantastic. And she's flexible too, because what is it? She has 2 debuffs. I mean, two framed, right? And then like she has her generics. Her generics don't really matter as much.
She has an EX debuff, and then she has the max brave down, which is actually really good. Max brave down, 60% max brave down, and the attack down is 30%. Still pretty good, but mainly her max brave down is amazing.
Max brave down.
Yeah. And then she has the poison, and then the EX debuff also has a poison.
Yeah.
So she has the strongest double poisons in the game.
Yeah, she's awesome. So I've been using her a lot, just because I've been having so much fun. Because I mean, I never used her on JP, not even for her whatever event she coincided with or whatever Lufenia that was. I didn't use her, so glad to use her on global.
And I know you just mentioned that she's non-elemental. I feel like of course it does help, especially with her LD ability, because she does have she can dish out some damage with that. But I feel like Serah actually, even if she's resisted, she doesn't need it just because of what she does with her poisons, like you guys are saying with the Brave battery. You just hit what is her second ability, Brave up the party. She just dumps it out. So she just works.
I've actually, with her base kit, I've brought her to magic resist fights plenty of times before the elemental change. It doesn't matter because she she doesn't do many brave hits anyways, and mostly it comes from battery. And then she doesn't have an issue with brave shaving because she double poisons them. And then people talk about like the brave reduction would hurt her, but she has like giant, like max brave regen is the future. Like iBrave regen is much less. She has 50% max brave regen to herself, and she does 30% to the rest of the party. And max brave regen is so much better than iBrave regen. And then she also has the encouragement armor that will come as well. So she'll have no problem with the future characters. And she's power crept probably some of the upcoming characters, like 7 and other characters
Deuce.
that become.
Oh wait, you guys
definitely power crept.
You guys are pulling for 7?
No, I wasn't. I mean,
okay.
Well, my pool battle, I had a pool battle with Serah with Inkwelder, and the stakes were 200 tickets. The winner gets to choose the banner that the loser was going to skip and do 200 tickets on that banner. And his choice for me would have been 7's LD, pretty much because I was gonna skip number 1, and then number 2 it was because Serah power kept 7, so he was gonna make me pull 7.
It's an interesting point that Deuce was brought up, because Deuce also has 30% brave damage up, but it's to magic type damage. But Deuce has healing built into her kit, unlike Serah. But yeah, no, I would still value Serah over Deuce any day. You don't need Deuce. You don't need Deuce. You don't need 7.
Poor type 0.
Yeah, she's gonna be great in the future. Yeah, just healing. You just bring a healer, no problem. Aerith, Pestle. Pestle's actually a really great partner with her.
I agree.
He covers all of her weaknesses, and they have double auras for your DPS.
And just throw in lightning for shits and giggles, because why not? Hashtag why not all 3?
Yeah, why not? And then, I mean, even Garland's coming. There's some crazy people that you can hear with. I mean,
yeah,
Terra,
that's
obviously,
right.
too.
Garland.
Any DPS just fits into that third slot, no problem.
I definitely value Terra that much more with Serah on the team composition, because my issue with Terra for the longest time, even with Ultimecia, is the fact that they don't have ways to give themselves brave damage up. And if you're not prepared and you're in a Lufenia fight, you can definitely tell. But not that we have Serah automatic 30% brave damage up with the 20% HP damage up. Yes, please pair them together. Terra's gonna do a lot of damage. I see Rez's eyes like glinting. She's like, ooh. So, yeah, there's your.
Yeah, like the difference between. Go ahead.
No,
sorry.
tell you.
Well, I'm just gonna say, like, the difference between having like a proper aura support in the party is huge. Like, I did the boss rush, right? I had a non-synergy party, but it had Serah in it. It felt like the whole team was synergy. It just destroyed like a wave and a half being a non-synergy team. And then my next team with Y'shtola, I did in the boss rush before. It had still the super synergy bug, so the rest of the units didn't have synergy stats. So like it felt like a grind. Like it slowed down. They were hitting so much less, so much weaker, and I didn't have enough of the auras as I was expecting, because I didn't realize that I was missing the synergy stats. So it just felt like I was chugging through like a lot thicker. It was a lot harder. Whereas with Serah, it was like going through butter. Everyone was just hitting cap, and yeah, it's just a difference between having the proper auras. She'll make your teams just flow so much smoother.
Yeah, for sure. So Serah's great, guys. If you guys wait, is her banner still live on the global side?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
if you guys don't have her yet, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to pick her up. Like again, she does replace some of the upcoming units that give your parties some brave damage up, and I feel like she is going to be, I would say, useful. Like Lufenia plus era, of course, with the proper team compositions, maybe the beginning of Lufenia plus, again with the proper team compositions.
Right, a long time. She'll be useful for a long time.
So
like the moment I saw her release video, I also made an initial response video, and I said, "Pool on her. You got to pool on her." And then after I played with her even more, then I just doubled down on it in my how to play video. I was just like, "You got to pool on her if you can. You should pool on her. Unless you really don't like her, then obviously you don't have to."
Right.
If everyone was pooling on Pestle, and I think his BT was a little bit overvalued, but if everyone's dumping gems on Pestle, I think she's better.
I got it with tickets.
All right. Whatever way you can get her.
What was it, Rez? 700 tickets? Or was that someone else?
No, for Serah, I pitied her without the burst.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So is that going to feel bad later down the line when she gets her burst weapon and we have to pity it and then we keep getting her LD like crazy?
You just pull on the other banners, no?
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
That's the benefit of already having the LD. You can just go on the other burst banners.
Speaking of LDs, and I feel like a lot of content creators should be trying to tell their viewers about this, that we are approaching double LD banners. How are you guys going to approach that? Are you guys going to plan for that? Do you guys already plan for that? Do you guys don't care? You just pull now, pull later, again, leave it up to RNG. I need to hear. I need to hear this from you guys.
You can go first, Riz.
I mean, it totally depends on the banner. I'm very much not somebody that's like, okay, I'm going to wait because they'll be back on this banner in like a half a year or something. Because like, if I want the character, I want to be able to use them when they're in their prime. So I don't know. And a lot of the last chapters coming up with the double banners are ones where I didn't get the LDs. So like Dash, I didn't get the LD. What's the one after that? I know 9's coming up. Like I didn't get 9
Italian
LD.
and Deuce.
Ami, I got the LD. That was a full battle. I pitied that too. That was another full battle against Jin. Pitied Ami LD. But so yeah, I think it'll totally depend. Like I'm going for Yang. Hopefully he's nice with tickets. If I pick up Dash, cool. But like I'm not gonna go out of my way. Now that I say that, I'm probably gonna get trolled with like 5 Dash LDs, but I can't think of I'd have to look at my planner for like a double LD banner in the very near future that I will be gemming.
Okay.
But I could just totally be forgetting somebody that I'm planning on gemming.
I'd say it's the same. It's essentially the same as always. Like when EXs first came out, and then later on JP, there was double EX banners. People were like saying, "Wait for the double EX banners." It doesn't. It depends on your resources. It depends on what you need right then and now.
Yeah.
The only thing that I find double LD banners that help when you look down the line is that, say for example, like Kais. Kais was someone I didn't really care about. I went some tickets, but I said, hey, if I don't get him now, I'll get him later when he's featured with like Lale or something. You know what I mean? That's kind of like, it's just an easy method for me to walk away easier and just be like, I'll just get him later. But if it's someone I want now and someone I need now, it doesn't matter what other LD is with them or where they come down later. I'm just going to get it then and now. But it helps me to walk away and plan for units that I don't really care for as much. And see when they return, and then I would be like, oh, actually that banner I might pull on, so I probably will just pass on this banner, especially if I'm lower on resources. And that's about it.
40, as a JP player, do you have any advice when it comes to these upcoming double LD banners that are quickly approaching, starting with the Emmett Italian banner?
This is where you're really gonna have to focus your roster and like look at what you already have and see if you have characters that might already be able to fulfill specific roles, because it's gonna be brutal on your resources. Like for me personally, I'm probably gonna be skipping the Mid-Italian banner with Deuce, and I'm also gonna be skipping the banner with 7 because for global I don't need them. I know I'm missing out on the HP regen for Deuce, but I like for everything else, like aura wise. I mean, we have Serah, Balthier to cover that, Paladin Cecil. So I would say really take a look at what you already have, especially if you're free to play and you're holding resources for specific characters, because it can get pretty bad. Like, sometimes RNG can be great and you could pull something in like 20 tickets or less, and sometimes it can be brutal and you're pitying like banners back to back and you're like, okay, now what do I do? So I would just highly advise, use the guides that people have written out. Tomberry Troop, Decidia DB, watch your content creators that create content, and kind of like get an understanding for these characters coming out and compare them to what you already potentially have that might be able to fulfill that role already. Because if you already have somebody that might be able to cover that role, then it's safe to pass on some of these banners. This is going to be brutal with some of these double LD banners. So that's my 2 cents on it.
I would say that when I have like excess tickets or something, like a banner with 2 of them I don't have becomes a little bit more enticing. I would just go until I get one of them. This is something I used to do with double EX banners as well. Yeah. But it's definitely conserve your resources just for what you need and make sure you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I definitely agree, because even like when some of these characters repeat later down the line, they don't get anything new. Like for example, Bosch, he's coming out alongside Terra, but he also repeats later down the line on Swelbez's Burst Plus, but he doesn't get anything. So you could potentially pick up a bunch of Bosch LDs and not get a single Golbez LD if you skipped him out when Golbez first debuts. That's just an example. The example I like to bring up is with Barrett. I pulled for Barrett when he came out. I love Barrett. I've always liked Barrett in this game. Came out alongside with Kane's LD. Nope, Barrett said no. He gave me 4 of Barrett's LDs and I didn't get a single Kane LD. And that was just with tickets. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's the benefit of global. You can see when they return, and if you're going to pull on that banner or not, then you can make it more skippable on their release. But sometimes they're not going to be usable or that good when they return, so it's really up how much you value the character at the time of their release.
I agree 100%. So all right, guys, so with the more recent Square Enix community live stream that we had this past Monday, we actually are getting a quality of life change in the game. I believe this is a global first, right? I don't think JP has this. At least I don't know, because I can't read Japanese and I can't read some of these OPOP, but if it is, I missed it. But so the quality of life change is going to be that the friend supports that you guys have, their time is going to be reduced. Hold on, let me just quickly glance at the slide here. So if it's a favorited friend, it's going to go from 6-hour cooldown to 30 minutes, and then it's going to be other supports from 6 hours to 1 hour. How do you guys feel about this quality of life change?
I think Global's been asking for it for a while, right? So it's pretty amazing that they gave it to us.
Have they?
I felt like people are always like, that's the reason they gave it to us. It was like one of the questions that they answered, I think, in the stream before with the director or something. I mean, I could be misremembering, but I think that was the case. But yeah, it's very helpful for especially newer players when maybe they only have like a couple of really good support units. They can keep using them for helping them clear content. If you have a lot of good friends, then it doesn't matter as much.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay.
You guys can abuse my support more often.
Wait, tell me right now. Who do you guys have set as your support? Rez.
I actually don't know. I was just about to go into my game and check, because I don't have Isola LD or Burst, and I don't have the other, really good friend unit, Ramza. So I don't have Ramza.
Isn't it? It's Emperor, maybe, right? Or
it might still be Emperor. I was thinking of changing it to Trey for right now.
I think it's Emperor right now.
Yeah, it's probably Emperor. I should probably change it. I might have updated it to Pestle, actually. But yeah, let me see.
Mine is Ramza.
Who should I make
Ramza.
mine? Yes.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I feel like Ramza's a good one. How about you, 40? Is it Shantoto?
I mean, I was actually memeing for a while, and it was Zell. But then I decided to be a good boy and change it to Ramza. So people can actually use me.
Okay.
Just a small like FYI for people who don't know how the friends list works. They actually give it to you based on rank and last login and favorited. So like, if you're like not maxed rank, like, and I have a bunch of maxed ranked friends, I will like never see your support They will always
Also-
give you a max rank support first, and then last login favorite, and then favorited last login is next. So they'll give you your highest rank favorited last login person first. And so like 40 is a GL casual. I never see 40 support because he's not max rank. So I didn't even know he had Zella as a support. Yeah, that's pretty much how the friends.
Didn't Joshua yesterday say that like it also has to do with when that character was last used or something? Or did I totally mishear that? I thought
It would be like
So the cooldown.
it had to do with like it has to do with you having to like have still been playing. Like for example, like if you just use my support and I am still currently playing the game, and then in half an hour I'm still playing the game, then my support will show up again.
Mm-hmm.
But if I stopped playing and you used it, you wouldn't see it come half an hour later, just because of the way the friends list.
There's a disclaimer that says the cooldown time is dependent on certain conditions. Last login time of support character used, and when support character was last used in quest.
Yeah. That's what I was that's what I was talking about. So that's
So if I wasn't playing, then you wouldn't see it.
but like do they literally mean like, you know, if I had Emperor as my support character, like the last time I used Emperor in a quest?
No, that's
Because that's what
It's
it's
just
implied
last-
on the slide.
It's just the
That's
last
what it
time
does
that
imply.
it's just the last time that I've been in the game. Like the last time that support person that you're using has been in the game. So like
So you're the
if I haven't been in the game for an hour,
Support character.
Hey,
Are you,
I don't know.
Are you a character in your own game, Jen?
Yeah, I guess so.
This is big brain time, guys. How does
I need
it
to
work?
know. I need to know.
I'm fairly certain that's the logical way that it would work, because that's based on how the friends list used to be, and all they would do is just reset the cooldown time. That's all. They would just reset the cooldown time.
I think it does work like that when the player.
Oh,
last
totally.
play.
It's just such an interesting wording.
Yeah, I definitely I agree, but yeah, no. I love this change. It's very nice for newer players, as was mentioned. And this is going to be nice, especially once the harder content comes our way, like Lufenia Plus, and you want that beautiful maxed out cloud of darkness with the blue armor, the burst plus, the with the particle effects, with the green, lightning things going on, with the costume. You use that cloud of darkness, you screw up, you have to leave the stage, and then, oh shit, you have to wait 6 hours. Not anymore. You just wait half an hour. You can see that cloud of darkness again. So, yeah. It's a nice quality of life.
Pretty much.
So.
It's good.
All right. So we have, all right, guys. So, all right. So with one of the upcoming characters, I believe it was with Mog, we're going to get a specific Lufenia where you could do a certain cheese that makes this character practically the strongest character in the game because they can solo a Lufenia. Now I'm talking about the Yuffie cheese. Now, those not familiar with the Yuffie cheese, it is when there is going to be a boss that there inflicts, I believe it was some kind of HP damage over time debuff that Yuffie can throw back at the boss, and that boss is not resistant to their own debuff. Hence, Yuffie can solo this Lufenia fight. Do you guys think that they will fix that?
No, I don't think so, because they didn't even fix it on JP. I don't think so.
I hope they don't.
No?
No, they're not going to fix that. If they did, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a majority of folks that'll be a little disappointed because they won't get to see it happen, as they're playing. But I don't think they're going to.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think it's funny that they kept it that way.
I would fix it. I would fix it if I was Square, but I don't know if they will.
Which Lufenia is it for?
Mog
for the, what was it, part 2 of the next chapter that we get?
Yeah.
So
it's I believe the boss is based around the undead chariot that you fight. Spoiler alert, in FF6 during the Daryl Tomb event. If you remember that, you FF6 fans.
Thanks for spoiling.
I think that was the boss. It's spoiler alert.
I'm just kidding.
Great game. Fantastic game.
But yeah, that's the one where she can technically solo it. I think you do have to bring a friend support. I think I saw some players bringing what's her face, Arciala for the HP attack disable just to buy themselves more time, but it's crazy. Speaking of cheese, how about the Gladio cheese with Divine Alexander?
Gladio cheese. I'm so out of the loop.
Okay, so go ahead, 40.
Go ahead. You can. You got this one.
All you, fam. All you.
Okay. It had to do with like he had to be like at a certain eye brave, right? Or something like you had to unequip passives that I believe had to do with his eye brave. I don't quite remember what it was, but because he stays like at a certain amount, and because he does, it causes Alexander to keep counterattacking, and because he's counterattacking, Gladio will cover the character, and then he'll counterattack, and it just repeats like this endless loop of like infinite counterattacks. But you have to have like I think it's his eye brave. I remember it being his eye brave at a specific amount. So you had to remove specific passives off of Gladio, but that's what it was. But that was fixed. That was I believe that was actually fixed.
That one was fixed. Yes, because I wasn't able to do it.
Yeah. So if it is in it, I don't expect it to be like that for global on an initial release, just because they did fix it on JP. But if they do keep it for like briefly, I think they're trolling and they want people to just experience it. I don't know.
I mean, it's just copy and paste stuff, right? Here you go.
There's like the old Maria glitch with the Aramons or whatever, and as long as you got them below like 80%, they wouldn't
guys?
use. Yeah, the spark guys. That's what they are. And if you got them below 80%, then they would just.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh man. Well,
but they never fixed that, so that's why they kept it. But
they never fixed it. I thought they eventually did.
But if they fix it in JP, then we usually get the fixed version.
Yeah.
That was quite the EX stage. I still have nightmares from that one, man. But if they don't remove that cheese, guys, for the Divine Alexander, take advantage of it, because at least for me on the JP side, Divine Alexander was not easy. I would probably say that might be the next harder of the Lufenias that is upcoming, because I don't remember the finer details. So 40, if you remember these, but there was something to do with Alexander. If he broke your party or something along the lines of that, you got confused, you got screwed over, and you died.
I don't remember because I cheesed it. And also, who was the party I took for the Chaos Challenge? I took Golbez because I pulled for his burst, and I didn't experience nearly as much difficulty on the Chaos Challenge because I had Swolbez, LD, and burst. Even the
Chaos one was. I can give it for the money, so to say.
It was pretty brutal because the boss has his turns are like framed. It's like they're always framed, and you can't delay him, you can't delete him. So, turn, pushing his turn back is out of the question unless you wait for Quistis LD later down the line, because later. But if you want to do it now, it's definitely a more difficult fight. One of the harder fights that were released, and so.
Looking forward to that one, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine, guys. Just pull for Golbez, pull for Hope, and pull for Kadaj, and easy. At least that's what I use on the JP side. So, next thing up is that, guys, we are finally getting another Abyss. It's 2, right? 2 parts? I missed that.
2 parts.
Yes.
So it is 2 parts. So who do you guys think? What series is it going to be locked behind?
What do you think? It's
15.
It's pretty much FF6.
I think, that makes sense because of Ignis LD, and that wasn't. They didn't mention that.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't mention that at all.
I think it'll be 6.
6?
I fucking hope it's 6.
Doesn't it come out with like Mog and?
It's true.
Oh, shit.
And Terra was the burst cycle.
So, the first one comes out. Oh no, wait. The first one comes out on the 10th, and that is after Mog and before 7, because Mog is on the 6th.
Right. So you'd have Mog and you'd have Terra burst, so it'd be FF6.
Oh shit! So we have to pull for Mog, huh?
So
Mog is probably gonna be. It's probably gonna be geared towards Mog. I'm pretty sure. Like you'd probably need like a blue spear, which Aranea at least will if you have her. But
If you have her, keywords.
If you can't.
But Reds will have Mog, so it's fine.
Wait, hold on. What color is Ignis? Red. All right, never mind.
Mhm.
Use that red dagger.
Because I'm trying to think of Mog's kit and what they could potentially try to lock it behind, because I know that Mog has the capabilities to remove debuffs from the party. So I was like, okay, who's blue that can remove debuffs from the party? I was like, wait, Ignis, but he's red crystal affinity. I think part 2 could be locked behind 15
They could relate.
of Ignis.
Yeah. Part 2, they would make it related to the next set of people, I would imagine. So yeah, it would probably be Ignis and Garland related.
Okay.
I wonder what banners they would come out with though. That's what I'm more curious about.
Mm.
Like if they're releasing banners, like any surprise banners, the Abyss or anything.
Oh, no more surprises.
That's generally where they give us surprises. All the last like Abysses have been like either time travelers, GL First LDs. So
You know what they could do is give us a banner that features Balthier LD, Vincent LD, and VB LD.
Oh shit.
I could see that potentially possibly happening.
Good.
it'd be good for newer players. I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be a nice little banner. But I do feel that they'll bring a thing banner for both of them.
Don't you think VV's LD though would scare away new players though?
Wow, poor Vivi. Wow, that
His
was
costume will draw them back
harsh.
What was that, Rez?
in. His costume will draw them back in.
True. Very true. Yes, Lulu LD.
I would say that is one thing that you might want to have, like, if you need to conserve resources a bit, you might want to see what they drop with the Abyss first. I'm not saying that there's gonna be any GL First surprises anymore, but I mean it's a GL First banner. So.
Well, speaking of GL surprises, Jin just answered that question. Do you guys think there's going to be any other GL surprises before the Lufenia Plus era?
Hopefully another Global First LD. I thought there was actually going to be one for this month. I was like, I wonder if they're going to. But then they didn't announce anything. So like, oh, okay. It was pretty much what we expected.
We've already gotten so much in the last, since anniversary.
Yeah.
Global First Rework. So I was not expecting anything. Hopefully we'll get something before Lufenia Plus, but if we do, it won't be for a little while.
And
I am curious if they might time travel some people for the Abyss LDs at least. I mean, for the Abyss banners. They might, like the last time, I forget, wasn't it like Destel that time traveled a bit?
Time travel?
That was a while
Serah,
back.
Final Fantasy 13? Huh? Sorry.
But I feel like, but there's a possibility now that they've reworked LD. Like, the possibility is endless now. They can rework anything they want. They can bring anybody they want, essentially. So
they really
I think that's pretty interesting.
Right. So when it comes to these other, I'm going to call them these side LDs, like Serah, Aerith, Ignis, Galuf, that weren't necessarily tied to something specifically. Like the upcoming ones, they're great. I mean, Ignis, he's a good LD to pick up, but Galuf is good in his own rights. And then we have Setsu later down the line. So at that point, it'd probably be just either a brand new spanking LD Fang or someone that could just
Lulu.
Stop, Rez. Don't get my hopes
That's
up.
why we battle
When Lulu gets her LD, if she gets on the JP side, you're starting a JP account. We're pole battling.
I have a JP account. I have a JP account, but I like it, thanks to 40. But I used up all the resources, and I don't.
And the inventory space.
I have no inventory space because I don't have power stones to MLB things. I don't have orbs to MLB things.
Hey, you should max out Seymour now.
Fuck that. I did max it. I did purple him in global only so that I could give his sphere to Terra.
Okay.
Because my love for Terra outweighs
so you
everything.
you used him, is what you're saying.
Even my hatred for Seymour. No, I did not. Seymour is still equipped with a 1-star staff and 1-star armor.
You used it for his bonus sphere.
He has never had his EX weapon equipped, and he never will. The only as
Red is very vocal about her hate, but she purpled him, and I don't even have his EX. See, I'm the.
I purpled him for the sphere because my love for Terra outweighs everything, even my hatred of Seymour. And like I've said multiple times, the only time I will ever use Seymour is if his kit someday includes Anima, and that's it.
I don't think that's going to happen though, because Jack is the one that got the burst now.
Maybe he'll have it for LD, but otherwise he's staying on the bench.
Oh, true. That he could still get it with the LD. Correct.
Yeah,
but they did do summon reworks.
It makes me very sad that whenever I'll use Terra and I use party use screen, I'll have to see his stupid face on the screen, like where the sphere is. Like, it was a really tough call of like giving her a really good E-sphere, having to see his stupid face every time I click, party used or something, or seeing it proc. But I made the sacrifice because she's worth it, because she's worth everything.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yeah, nothing but pure respect. That's all I gotta say. I can definitely
hypocrisy. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. Hypocrite. I was thinking it, but you said it. I'm gonna hide again. I can definitely see a surprise, perhaps with maybe like a summer campaign. I don't know why.
Swimsuit Tifa. Swimsuit Tifa.
Oh yes.
Oh geez. Yep, we're gonna open up the debit card for that one for sure. Hell yes.
It'll be a new GL First character.
Yeah.
She'll be an alternate character.
Oh my. We are going broke. Double pity if we have to. Do you guys think they would do fan service costumes like that?
God, I fucking hope so for the men and the women. I mean,
we already have shirtless stripper off, so there's that. We paid him to take a shirt
There's
off.
also Fran. Fran is pretty much wearing like a night.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's spicy right there. That's probably the spiciest costume we have.
Yeah, stripper off was the first costume I bought on release. It was the first costume I bought on release because I saw that and I was just like, wow, I need that immediately. But I would love some more fan service in this game. I know a lot of people that play gachas aren't a fan of it. It's predatory, whatever. I'm all about the fan service. Why else would I play Christoria and Fire Emblem Heroes?
The reason Rez and I are friends are because of our shared love of shirtless Sephiroth.
There we go.
I thought you were gonna go and all the same amazing beautiful female characters.
I have Sephiroth set up as my friend support. Sure. Oh geez. So is there an upcoming costume that you guys are looking forward to on the global side of the game? Ones that are in the game, not your fantasy costumes. Ones that exist.
Faris.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. She's getting the costume. Oh.
I almost there's some characters that I want to pull just because I like the costume. Like Penelo, I only pulled her LD because I liked her costume. So Faris is kind of along the lines of, I need her LD so I can get her costume.
I am looking forward to the Yuna wedding costume. That costume is gorgeous.
That one is
gorgeous.
Flicked on that.
You mean the costume that she got married to Seymour with? Oh god,
it's gorgeous. Okay.
Beautiful costume, but it's a lot.
It is really good though. It is
beautiful
really good
costume, but every time I see it, it also fills me with rage. But I'm the same as Jin. I only get costumes for characters when I actually like the costume, and two when they're totally maxed out. The one exception for that was Kane. When I got it before I had his EX, because I fucking love that costume. But everybody else, I didn't get Ishtola's costume because she was not nice to me and she did not give me her LD.
How dare you?
Even though I love that costume, trading eyes for thighs. But I'm excited for the Cloud of Darkness costume. Obviously for that Cloud of Darkness costume is good shit.
Spicy.
Yeah, that one.
Her original costume is spicy as well.
Big Cloud.
Cloud of Darkness is pretty much half naked, and so is Fran. So that's as spicy as you can get in this game. Well, Yang's half naked too, right? Half, walking around without a shirt,
showing off his muscles.
Yeah, exactly. And that makes me want to do push-ups randomly. Gosh damn it.
Strago in his black tank top. So sexy.
The jacked grandpa.
Well, he can break things constantly. Just saying.
Hey.
Whoa.
Check out them
18
guns.
plus stream. 18 plus stream.
I mean, it's already past. Oh no, damn! It's not past 11 yet, guys. No, PG-13 still.
Hey, it's past 11 on my end. It's almost.
Oh yeah,
midnight
that's
here.
right. It is 40. You're still. What is it over there? 8 o'clock? Almost 9.
It's almost 9.
It's almost 9. It's still early for 40 over there.
Oh yeah, Kuja's like regular costume is. Damn.
The man thong.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That is too much. That's a lot.
I'd rather him wear that than his Hogwarts costume. What is up with that costume?
It's the Salem witch costume. Actually, I thank that costume for stopping my spending of costumes. I used to buy costumes just because I wanted to have them. And then once I bought that costume, I was like, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? So at that point, I just stopped buying costumes that I didn't like. So I have him to thank, I guess.
God damn it. So how about you, 40? Which costume are you looking forward to?
Faris and
Oh wait,
Zidane.
I already asked you. I'm sorry. Yes, Faris.
And Zidane. Assassin's Creed.
I was just gonna say that, like, Zidane's like costume is like his new one is just like miles better than his other costume. It's
Right.
like
Oh yeah.
the other costume was worse than his original, and then they released the third one that is like so much better.
Who bought his?
I did. I felt like swindled out of my money.
I hate that.
I want my
costume.
money back.
It looks
I
awful.
want my money back.
So where is his other costume from? His Assassin's Creed looking one. I don't remember that from the actual game. So is that from NT or costume in there?
I think it's I think it's from NT, right? Chat might know, because I don't remember that costume either. But it looks sick. I was like, "Yo, that looks dope."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I wasn't sure where it came from, but I know it definitely looks cool. It is from NT. Okay, thanks, guys.
Okay.
So, okay, thanks for clarifying that, guys. All right, so all right, what do we have next? So there are some actual LD weapons on the horizon that I think, and I don't know if you guys would like to get into this one specifically, that I think that you guys should strongly consider picking up, mainly Faris LD and Ignis LD.
Mm-hmm.
Those are some very strong characters or LD call actions that I highly recommend that you guys pull for. Now, those not for
Terra?
Wait, I'm sorry?
Skipping Terra LD?
No, we're jumping all over the Word doc. We're going to come back to it. You know what? In honor of Rez, Terra, are you guys excited for Terra LD and Burst? Oh my gosh.
Lidz was talking about the call actions.
Wait.
Rez.
I got something for Rez. Hang on.
Oh, I know, but still.
All right. Well, we're going to go. All right, Terra then. Oh. What? Is that a Turk? Oh.
So many people are skipping. What?
All right. So why are we skipping Terra, guys? Let's go.
Oh, what just happened?
I mean, I'm using tickets only.
I feel a ban.
So it's not a gem worthy.
I feel
to
a
me.
ban incoming. Ooh. Okay, so I'm not the only one. Rez cannot be mad at just me. She's really gonna ban me. I'm gonna.
You guys are all banned from the cosplay stream. Anybody that's not going in on Terra is banned from the cosplay stream.
But
Anyone who doesn't use gems on Terra is banned.
Yep.
Terra, I got Terra.
and I can't even like pull once because there's no free multi draw on that banner. Square new. They're like, you know what? Nobody's
Square
gonna go on
is
this
shafted
banner.
Terra. They're like,
Oh,
no
shit.
free multis. We stop on Terra, and then we'll continue it after Terra.
Literally, what? Why?
Oh, dear.
That was pretty cruel. That was like, you're gonna have to spend 75K to pity if you need.
All right. Well, let's talk about Terra. Let's talk about her burst. All right. So Terra, those not familiar with Terra, she's pretty much how probably a lot of players are going to compare her. Is pretty much the magic version of Lightning with her LD special effect. Terra has the capabilities to go back to back to back to back. Right? So for 4 turns, free ability uses, free turns. She increases her magic damage. She increases her, I believe it was her overflows. Correct me if I'm wrong. And she does give herself Brave Refund 50% based on total Brave damage dealt. And with her burst effect, it's pretty much the same thing, but towards the party members. All right. So how do you guys feel about Terra? How do you guys feel about her LD? How do you guys feel about her burst? We know that Rez is going to go ham. She's going to go broke for Terra. So, but how do you guys feel about it?
I think as a damage dealer. Oh,
go ahead, 40. Go ahead, 40.
Okay. No, I think as a damage dealer, personally, I want the LD and burst for her. And my reasons being why is that if Terra is going to be my main DPS in a party, and let's say like I'm running her with like Paladin Cecil, who's also a burst character, I'm bursting with Terra, and because she's there to deal damage, and that's kind of been like how I view characters now based on their roles. I'm like, okay, do they really need their burst or do they not? And I think if they're DPS, you might want to lean more towards that route if you're really going to make them like one of your main DPS party members. She can do very well without the burst. Like if you have like Garland burst and then have Terra, that's just nuts right there. Like having the Garland BT effect and then Terra LD just, dishing out a ton of damage. But yeah, for me, I want both because I'm going to be using her a lot. As far as like magic DPS, I'm going to be using her quite a bit because I did on JP and I'm going to do it again on global.
I wouldn't
go ahead.
I wouldn't say that like those comparisons, like to say like Terra is like the magic lightning. I would say it's probably those aren't the greatest comparisons. People do those a lot just because like some characters have a couple overlaps and then they all of a sudden become very similar, but they're quite different, I would say. So if you're expecting Terra to be just like lightning, I would say not. But yeah, she's just your strong magic DPS though. So I mean, in terms of just being a damage unit, then yeah, I guess. But Terra is gonna be better with her burst, as 40 said. With a lot of DPS units, you kind of want their burst more than a support unit's burst. But I would say that her burst is not as broken as you would want to be chasing for a burst. Like most people are saying, get Garland's burst, and there's a reason for that because of how broken the effects are of his burst. But Terra, if she's not a favorite, getting the burst would be nice, but chasing the burst, if she's not a favorite, I would say do not.
And Rez, aside from your biasness towards Terra, what do you think about her actual kit?
Jen, I swear to God, if you get Terra's burst, I will buy it.
She will murder me. She will murder me.
Either for weapons. No, after you just said all of that about her.
Yeah.
You don't deserve her. No, I'm only half kidding. But I don't know if I can give an unbiased opinion. Like I'm just that biased.
Say it how it is then.
She dishes out damage. Like that's what she's there for in FF6. That's what she's here for in DFFOO, and she does it very well. And I'm very, very excited to use her with Serah and just get a lot of that brave damage and HP damage up. Because like we've said, one of the things that's missing from her kit is that native brave damage up. But with Serah, she gets it. And I actually gave Terra Edgar Sphere so that she can get that brave damage up with debuff. I think she's going to be a lot of fun. Like her LD is just like, turns on turns on turns. You can have some fun comps. I know Yang is a big one. I'm excited to finally, like when her EX 3 out of 3 came out, I had fun using her in as many chaoses as I could. So I'm excited to do that now with her burst and Lufenia.
Did you give her Kuja Sphere? Who do you have as her A Sphere?
Edgar as her A Sphere.
Edgar, that's right.
And then Hope as D Sphere and Seymour as E Sphere. But yeah, Edgar gives 10% brave damage up when an enemy is debuffed.
Perfect.
It's a very nice sphere for her. Shout out to Inkwelder of the Tomberry Troop for that recommendation. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, shameless plug. I'm going to be playing for Terra on Thursday because I'm doing a cosplay stream. I will be cosplaying Terra herself and pulling her gear. But I can't. It won't work tomorrow night, so it'll be Thursday night. So hope you can make it.
Right.
I got the green wig and everything.
Nice.
I
still think the Tifa cosplay was the best one, but that's just me.
I'll be doing regular Tifa outfit cosplay when Tifa LD drops.
Yes, please. I'll be there. But no, I definitely agree with what my host had been saying in terms of Terra. I'm not as excited as Rez is. I'm probably on the same page as Jin Lee when it comes to her burst weapon. I do love her LD. I love what it does for her. As you know, as they've been saying that she is a nice DPS character. As Rez mentioned, pair her up with Serah, and that makes up for her lacking in that brave damage up. Now, if you guys absolutely just hate Final Fantasy, 13-2, you're just not a fan, you skipped out on Serah, maybe consider picking up another unit that increases her brave damage up, and that could potentially be Deuce, because Deuce works very well with magic types unit, but she'll be locked behind magic type brave damage up, right, friends? So yeah, Terra is a nice magic attacker, and she can come in very handy. And since she is a burst character, she is a candidate, or she will be eventually receiving a burst plus, and I know Rez is going to flip a shit when that happens.
Wait, question. Because I know hasn't played FF6. Have you played FF6, Lidz?
Lidz has left the chat.
Well, there we go. Have both played FF6, and we're both super hype. So they're in. There's the.
Okay, we'll go into our FF7 corner.
I played FF7. That's the only one that you need to play. Is that Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 7 Remake. That's it. That's all you need to play.
I'm more hyped for Kadaj.
Thank you, Jen. Okay, so the next burst character that we will be receiving during the month of, what are we in? March, April, May? May, I'm like, is going to be Garland. Now, Garland already does have his LD weapon, but it's going to be making a comeback. And those of you that are lacking a physical attacker, I would highly recommend you guys pick up Garland. I don't know how my hosts feel about Garland quite yet. We'll ask them. But so those not familiar with Garland, Garland has the capability. Once he receives his boards, he's going to have the capability to increase his brave damage by 50% and also increase his HP damage up by 30%. He's going to have 40% overflow. He's going to increase his own self-granted buffs by 1 turn. With this burst effect, it's going to be party-wide. It is a stackable buff, but this will reset whenever the enemy acts. With his LD boards, I'm sorry. He will also get a follow-up damage. So almost like Squall, but single target, okay? But Garland has the capabilities to delay his enemies whenever he attacks while his LD buff is up. With his burst effect, he pretty much grants those brave damage up effects to the entire party. 50% brave damage up, 30% HP damage up, more brave damage caps and overflows. How do you guys feel about Garland? Are you guys going to pity him?
He's loaded. He is. Especially for a damage dealer, the burst effect is leaps and bounds from a lot of bursts that we've seen so far. It's very impressive that he has that. I mean, yeah, you have to build stacks for it, but he's delaying things, so it's not that hard to do. You know, like I said, I was saying earlier, use his burst effect and have Terra just go ham with her LD. There you go. All the damage in the world that you could ever ask for. It's a fantastic burst, and his LD boards is pretty nutty too. So, yeah, fantastic character. I really like what they did with him.
Right, like ignoring Serah's like rework, which if she got that like in JP, she would have been hyped also. But Petzl, the hype meta is going from Petzl to Garland essentially. So like, and Petzl's BT was a little bit overrated because you won't be using his BT much, but Garland's BT is the one that most people will recommend that you token or try to go for. And I should have around 50 around his time, so I will be tokening it if I don't get it as well. And I don't have his LD yet, so I will have to go gems on his LD banner just to make sure I get it.
Are you gonna buy the costume?
Essentially, that is a meta pool. I mean, shameless meta pool. But I like having all the tools in my tool bag.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna buy the costume too?
I already have it, shamefully.
That's okay.
I think it's a lot.
No shame.
I think it's a lot
No
better.
shame, you prepared. How about you, Rez?
I have his EX right now already, though, at least.
I don't have any of it.
Does his when that costume came out, wasn't it like a joke because it doesn't really look that different from.
It's
quite different, I'd say.
Yeah,
like when you equip it and use it, it's quite different. It looks nicer.
It's his horns are smoother. There's not as many.
Oh, there you go, smoother horns. That's reason enough.
Yeah, it's his cape and his helmet, really.
I don't have any Garland weapons whatsoever. I got his 35 for the first time on like one of the free, daily multis that we got on those on the triple banner. So that I didn't even have his 15 max. I didn't have his 35. I don't have his EX. I don't have his LD. So I'm going gems for that LD. If I don't get the burst, at some point during his banners, because I am planning on pulling on, for Yang, seeing how my ticket stash is for, Yang, Ignis, and Faris. So if I don't get the burst, I'll be tokening that.
Mm-hmm. Pity if I have to. Now, I want to circle back to Terra quickly. And what banner? All right, let's say you guys pick up Terra's LD weapon fairly early. Let's say RNG is very kind. Okay, first multi-draw. Rez gets it. She's flipping a shit, all right? She's throwing the white claws across the room. What banner are you going to chase her burst on? Oh, hello?
Mom's banner. Because... I mean, who doesn't want an army of Moogles running across the screen? Like that's adorable. The only reason.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Same.
Okay.
Well, I'm not gonna be chasing the burst, but like for example, like if I get the LD early with tickets, then I have a lot more incentive to throw tickets on Deuce banner, and then I will throw some tickets on Mog's banner as well, just for a higher chance of getting the burst.
If you guys want pure adorableness, go for Mog, the most adorable character in the game.
I mean, Deuce is pretty sweet as well.
No, Mog. Koopa, and you get a bunch of little Mogs running across the screen. It's adorable. It's like a fluffy bunny. Okay. Okay. Now, when it comes to Garland, there's actually some. He's gonna. Faris and Ignis, but now when it comes to Garland, because Garland is going to be receiving free multi-draws for his banners, okay? Which banner?
A slap in the face to Terra.
It is. Like just let's just skip this banner, skip these banners in particular. But yeah, it's tough because like Garland's definitely not pulling for 7 LD. Sorry, 7. But I mean, those who are pulling for Terra will probably like also be, trying to get Yang. And then I'm very excited for Faris, especially for that costume. And Ignis looks very cool too. But yeah, if I happen to get Garland LD early, then I'd probably chase on Faris's banner.
Okay.
Are you asking like what we will do or what we recommend people to chase?
So right now, what you guys are gonna do, and you know what, make it both.
I mean, like for me, like I don't have his LD, so I'm gonna do gems on Garland's LD banner. If I get it early, then that's it. I'm just gonna use tickets on the rest of the banners, and if I don't get his burst, then I'll just token it. Otherwise, if I'm recommending people to chase, I mean, it really depends on your needs. But Yang is pretty decent with follow-ups, and you get Desh there too. Faris is more useful as call, I guess. It's
Right.
really dependent on what you need. There's no standout characters, I'd say, in that cycle, which is why I'm sticking with tickets if I get his LD early.
Right. And how about yourself, 40?
For Faris and Ignis?
For Garland, which banner would you chase?
For Garland.
On? Yeah. We'll talk about Faris and Ignis here in a second.
I'm skipping 7, so...
Is anybody pulling for 7?
I mean,
But the thing
we talked about Serah already power creeping here. I mean, I would suggest not unless you like 7.
Okay.
Hang on.
Or you don't have Serah, I guess.
Dash Lost Chapters, is that during... That's during Garland BT, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
Probably go for it there. I would go for it there.
For Yang?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is it Yang? Is it Yang?
It's Yang.
Probably both.
I've been saying it wrong my whole life.
There's
Young.
voice acting in the remake for 4, and it's Young.
Yeah.
Yang? Okay.
Young. Like a long, a long A. Young.
Yang.
Like a British Yang. Yang.
Young. Okay. Just wanted to clarify. Okay. Yeah, no, Yang's nice with the... What, LD does follow-ups with everything? Just kicks the shit out of everything?
Yeah, he has like a 2-turn buff or something. So it's follow-up. It doesn't last long, but that's why it works well with characters like Terra.
Gotcha.
Characters that take a bunch of turns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, I am...
RWBY.
Wait, what happened?
I was just reading GRW8 was 18 was referencing an anime I actually just recently started watching or a show.
Shit.
Yeah.
Now, I am going to ask a very important question, okay? And I'm sure maybe a lot of players are still trying to decide between this, especially if their resources are low. Faris LD or Ignis LD if a player had to chase it. Now, those not familiar with Faris is going to be getting... I think she gets a rework. I don't recall, but her main important thing is going to be her call actions. Her first call action dispels enemies. Her LD call action, 4 turns, framed debuffs, 80% poison, 30% brave damage down, 70% attack down, 70% defense down, and Charming Dance. Charming Dance lowers the enemy's thunder, wind, water resistance. There is brave damage. The brave damage that enemy deals goes down by 20%, and at the end of the enemy's turn, their brave is set to 0. Ignis, he inflicts a debuff called Sage Fire, which is fire resist down, poison, and plus 10% HP damage taken, and the caller will receive a call effect that gives the party fire enchant, and there's going to be a plus 30% elemental weakness damage up. If a player had to pick one of those 2 units, which one would you guys recommend and why?
Ooh.
It's a tough one. I know it's a tough one.
Well, so from experience, but see, the thing is, I used Faris LD more because it's loaded. But I also like Ignis because Ignis recently was the reason why I was able to do Shiva Lufenia Plus. Why that fight was also more manageable for me. But I don't think for the general consensus that would justify. I don't think that justifies putting him over Faris because Faris LD is, as a character and as a call is loaded. I mean, 70% defense down and 70% attack down. Plus the setting the brave to 0. That's pretty nutty. It's very strong. Yeah, I'd have to lean more towards Faris if I had to recommend one. But I did have a good experience with Ignis from recent content that I've done.
I would agree. I would say Faris is much more useful in more situations if you had to choose between the 2.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And like you mentioned, like her even her regular call already is useful. So you get a lot more utility out of Faris.
Mm-hmm.
But it really does depend on the fight.
Yeah. Right.
Obviously.
Rez, what do you think?
It's hard to, it's like so much in this game is so dependent on the fight and the team. But just thinking about like what they do, and who I used more, even at like 0 out of 3 or 1 out of 3, I definitely used Faris more. And the thing that I worry about with Ignis, and like, you know, I have no experience, you know, using anybody on JP, but he takes a lot of turns. Do those turns count towards the Lufenia orb?
Well, anything that you do
does.
outside of a burst mode or summon counts for the Lufenia orb. Yes.
Okay.
But this is more specifically for their call actions.
For their call
Sorry,
actions.
I should have specified. Yes.
Sorry, you might have said it earlier and I just forgot. Yeah, I would say that then Faris is probably the one that would be more universally useful.
Even though she takes up a lot of debuff slots.
Well, yeah, I mean it depends on the, like, if you're taking a debuff heavy party, you're probably not gonna want to bring Faris. But if you're taking a party where, like, you know, debuff, like, they don't really have that many debuffs, then bring Faris. But there are many more enchant, imperil, and there are many more imperil LDs, LD calls than I'd say there are with, like, just a shit ton of debuffs. So being able to bring Faris in, especially if you need, like, a lot of debuffs at once. But yeah, I'd say Faris is probably more useful in more situations, but I could be wrong.
That's a good point. Bringing up the fact that we have other forms of elemental enchant up. I think the one that does come to mind that is somewhat similar to Ignis would be Cryle. You know, Cryle has Thunder enchant towards the party, and she also gives your party elemental weakness damage up. So yeah, I would say if you guys have Cryle, you know, you would be safe to skip out on Ignis and definitely go for Faris. Her debuffs are very nice. And when did the debuff slots increase? Was that with Il Nacho on the JP side? If I remember correctly. There's going to be a point where they increase the debuff slots up to, what was it, 8?
I think it was El Nacho first, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be fantastic. You just load. Because I'm always, like, fighting for debuff slots right now. So once it increases, it'd be a nice breath of fresh air.
Yeah, so that'll definitely help out, especially with Faris. I know when she first comes on, if you guys do have, well, you know, like as Rez mentioned, a debuff heavy team, then you might start running into conflicts. But the fact that her LD debuffs are framed, you're gonna prevent the enemies from buffing themselves. So you'll just have to wait like almost 2 months for El Nacho when he gets his LD and burst, because that's when the slots are going to increase. But I'm surprised that now they did increase the debuff slots. When are we going to get buff slot increases? Do you guys see that happening? Do you guys think it'll reach a point where some of these buffs will just start getting more condensed into one overall framed buff?
Or just like turn into auras or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think six is fine at the moment for your party. I mean, and you know, you have your auras and you have your buffs. I think it's still fine. I don't think buff slots to 8 is completely needed right now.
I would say there's one drawback to buff, and another drawback from buff slots to 8 would mean that you have also extra debuff slots as well. So you can't push them off as easily.
Just run Afmao. You're safe. Run Aerith. You're safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am very curious how that is going to pan out as we progress in the game, because I know that in terms of debuff upgrades, there's going to be gold debuffs or gold frame debuffs introduced. I think the first one is Kadaj. And then it's going to go from there. So there's that. But yeah, no. I think.
Isn't he the only one, or is there others?
Sephiroth.
He's the only one. Oh, there's
Sephiroth with his rework and LD boards. I think they're the only two.
The Kadaj and Sephiroth are the same people, but yeah.
Are they though? Are they really? So, but no, true. You're right. There's only 2 gold frame debuffs at the moment. So gold frame buffs when is that going to happen? So, all right, guys. I think that is it for tonight's topic. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to answer them, and any host can just pick out any. We do have some here. Rez, do you want to pick one of them that was written on here?
Sure, but I'd also just like to point out that apparently Fran is getting her LD, and I'm freaking out internally. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Wait, Fran's
Massive
getting
news for JP.
Wait, did they show it?
Wait, she is?
Did they show it?
I see.
Like the actual animation?
Oh.
I don't know if they showed it. I'm just looking at the
I haven't
she's getting a rework on May 12th, though, apparently.
Finally.
Of Zeta Kai's infiltration report.
I just keep looking at the Jaeger guy from Crystal Chronicles. I don't know.
They announced a second new character too, Ursula from Final Fantasy IV After Years.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
Young's daughter, right?
Yes. But unfortunately, no Jin B, Jin C. Remember that, Jin?
Jin just dropped from the call.
Oh, he didn't hear that.
Jin B, yes.
No Jin B, Jin C, but Ursula's coming out, Jin.
Jim Bean's pretty good.
Inside joke.
I stopped watching after you benched them.
But okay, so question, let's see. Well, why don't we, I'm trying to choose one. I don't know. Liz, you choose one.
How long will Terra Burst LD will be great until the next power creep? Probably like a week.
That's just mean. That's just cruel. I feel targeted.
As long as you can make honestly, like when it comes to asking about some of these specific characters, stay hydrated. Okay, I'm staying hydrated, guys. Jake, just there we go. You're gonna make these characters last as long as you can, as long as they're somewhat recently updated, and as long this game is all about team compositions. That's why I love this game, because as long as you can make characters work together, as long as you find ways to first and foremost meet that Lufenia special condition counter, and then the other two, as long as you could increase your party's brave damage, like Serah, Stick, and Terra, you're gonna make those characters last for quite a bit, probably up until the Lufenia plus era. With the proper team compositions, yes, I can see Terra lasting up until the Lufenia plus era. At that point, it might be a little bit harder to run her, but I can see some daring global players attempt that. But at that point, I'd rather get other characters for sure. I think at that point, I'd rather pick up like Tritus or Yuna.
I would say that that's the issue with like DPS units. Like they need some utility to have more reason to continually bring them. Unless they're a favorite, then you're just trying to make them work. But DPS will be easily crept faster than regular units that bring utility.
Mm-hmm.
Like Lightning is not just a DPS. She re-breaks delays like infinitely, and yeah, that's the reason she lasted so long. Outside of it just hitting hard.
Right. All right. So what else do we have in terms of questions? Let me see. So one we actually have from our fellow host from 40. When is Art Lean coming top Romnia?
Yeah, when is he coming?
I don't know.
I want to know, Lids.
I don't know. The day we see Kingdom Hearts is probably the day we'll see Art Lean in the game. So
As long as there's no Goro Lufenia. I'm sorry.
That'd be fine. That'd be fine. Truthfully, I'm okay with that. So here's the real question: Jin Lee camera when?
Oh,
That's a very good question.
I need a lot more money. These are things that are expensive. I keep blowing it on gacha games.
Time to fundraise for Jin to get a camera.
I see one here.
Go ahead.
A real question. Who are the recommended BT for Transcendence? If you're referring to Transcendence 2, I took Terra and Garland.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're more current, but the mechanics of the fights that you go through, I found more use in them. Although there are runs with Ishtola as well. And who's the other burst character that we got? Was it just Ishtola? No, I completely forgot already.
Emperor.
Emperor. There we go. I have seen runs with them, but a majority went with Garland and Terra for if you're talking specifically for burst characters, for Transcendence 2 Max. So
Transcendence is always going to be built around the characters released around it. That's just going to be a given.
I was just going to say that. You stole my line. I'm just... Go ahead.
Yeah, like Gabranth was like huge for Transcendence 1, for example. That's just how it is. But that's why you want to build a roster where you can cover every single kind of area, so that you don't have to have the unit that they want you to bring. You can bring a substitute unit. Then that's
okay. Yeah, no, it's Jin's saying. Yeah, if you guys are worried about Transcendence and if you guys have the resources to do so, just get literally the burst characters released around the time of the Transcendence, and you're gonna do just fine. Like, I know a huge example is gonna be the following: Transcendence 3, Crucible 1, left gate. There's gonna be the Gao dinosaurs. There's 3 of them, but you have to have a yellow crystal affinity character and you have to launch them. So Leo shines in that, but you can't do that with Ramza. I did it with Ramza. Cloud of Darkness, when she debuted, not with her Burst Plus, when she debuted, and I forget who my other character was. So, I mean, as long as you guys have workarounds, you can make it work, but yeah, pick up the Burst characters around that time and they'll be fine.
But that's why I say, like, with newer players, that's actually a negative. Like, when they're trying to do harder content, they don't have the vast roster to have substitutes, and then they just start pulling all the units around those banners just to do the hard content there. So I would say avoid trying to do that.
Yeah, it's definitely harder for newer players to take on Transcendence. That's endgame content. Not really advised unless you heavily pull on the banners released around that time frame, but yeah, good luck with that. I actually see a question here that I see Sephiroth mentioned, so of course I'm going to pick that one. From Demon Drake asked this regarding Garland Burst. You're saying if you need a melee attacker, is Sephiroth rework soon enough to hold off or not advised? I would still. All right. So first and foremost, you guys got to know that I absolutely love Sephiroth as my favorite villain. Okay, in the Final Fantasy VII universe, but I would probably still prefer Garland because Garland has utility built into his kit in terms of delaying the enemies. Now Sephiroth, though, I wouldn't push him off to the side, so to say, because he does get his rework. He does get LD boards. He gets a gold frame. His cellular, degeneration it becomes a gold frame debuff that lasts even into Lufenia plus air because it allows the enemies to receive more brave damage. So if you guys have Garland Burst, you guys are hurting for resources. You don't necessarily need Sephiroth. Again, coming from a Sephiroth fan, but Sephiroth, his call action, his LD call action, he himself, he gets so much better. He does deal a lot more damage, but I mean, in the long run, yeah, his LD call action is where it's at.
That banner actually will be pretty great for newer players, though, just like the Stardash banner, because you got Pestle, who's still gonna be fantastic. You got Sephiroth with his rework, like Squall had gotten, and then you now also have Warrior of Light, who's a superior, great new friendly player. I mean, a character for newer players, and he doesn't have his Burst Plus yet, but I assume when he gets his Burst Plus, he's gonna be pretty ridiculous. He always comes back pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, Warrior of Light has been the best tank in this game, hands down. So, all right, do you guys see any other questions?
Someone's asking if they should pull on that banner if they don't have Warrior of Light LD. I would say it depends on what else you don't have on that banner. Because if you're just pulling for his LD, I would say no. Because you don't need him at that point in time. And if he comes back later, then you can pull it then.
That's actually a great question, yeah. I definitely agree. If you have 2 out of 3 characters already, I wouldn't really recommend going on there just because RNG being RNG, you never know. Stop asking about Riku. Stop pinging me and stop asking about Riku. What do you think? Every time, here's the thing what players don't understand. Every time you guys mention Riku, Joshua hits the 3-month delay button, okay?
Right.
There's a button specifically built
It's by his
There's
desk.
a Riku and there's a red 13 button, and then there's a Nanaki
Stop.
button.
You just mentioned red 13. Stop it.
And then there's a Final Fantasy Tactics button as well, and they keep pushing it all the time.
And Thunder God Sid and
delay.
Oh. Now, all right. Now this one's coming from me. Okay, I know that they mentioned that they're not going to be looking into doing global first character. Do you guys think that's a lie? Do you guys think they will introduce a global first character in the game as time progresses?
I think it's possible because, I mean, as if you take a look at what JP's been releasing, more of the characters that are missing LDs that are also on global are getting their LDs now. So I think it's potentially possible, but they need to run out of LDs first for some of the characters that are already out. But they're kind of speeding up LD releases. I mean, what did we just get on JP? Maria, Shadow, Ida. That's 3 right there. You know, that's 3 characters pretty much. So,
right. All right. Any other questions?
So I think it's possible, but
sorry.
we'll see. Oh no, it's fine.
I'm sorry. Jin and Rez, what do you guys think?
Well, it's unlikely because they said that they probably won't do it anymore, but you never know. You can always change their mind.
Yeah, I guess I'm in that boat too. Like,
okay,
I guess it'll be more likely, you know, as JP continues and like the few characters that still don't have their LDs yet, which there are still, you know, a decent amount, but you know, as soon as like everybody has their LD, then you know what are they going to be able to do for global?
True.
It's true.
And we do still have plenty of LDs that are still needed in the game, like Rem. I'm still waiting for Rem's LD. So if that's a global first, oh man.
She was actually who I was hoping for instead of what we got. I mean, I was happy with what we got too, but I was hoping and thinking it could be Rem for the anniversary.
Okay, that'd be nice. Oh, okay. There goes my dreams for whatchamacallit for a Thunder God Sid. Global first or Nanaki.
It's still, you know, could still come in JP. Who knows?
I see classic redeem some worst burst weapon in animation. Who? I think they're all wonderful and they're all beautiful in their own sort of way.
Liz is saying that so he has a higher burst rate or something.
Yeah. Yes, they're all wonderful. Give me all them bursts, please.
Okay, well, let's flip it around. Who's your favorite burst animation so far in global?
Take a guess. I'll give you one guess.
Well, I mean, is it
Sephiroth?
The Final Fantasy VII in me says Sephiroth. But if I'm gonna be honest, in terms of burst animations, the best one, my favorite is going to be what's his name? Final Fantasy II.
Firion.
Yes.
So cool.
I almost called him like Leon or something. Yes. Yes. I love his it's fast, it's flashy, and that's always been a thing with me when it comes to animations in game. I love fast and flashy animation. So yes, he is the best. Firion is the best burst animation ever.
That's not what she said.
Ooh. So how about you guys?
I like Pestle is my favorite, but I'm being a little biased because FF4, but I love his transition between Paladin and Dark Knight. And you know what? You guys are going to get surprised by this, but one of the worst animations I think is Shen Toto's. It's lame. She throws the staff. Ooh. Like, come on. It's lame.
I mean,
some of the early ones are pretty rough.
You said so yourself.
I don't like squalls.
It could be a clone.
I also think like squalls and like lightning's weapons are like hideous.
Oh yeah.
They're not.
I love lightning, but lightning's weapon I'd never equipped it ever. The burst, it looks hideous.
It's tacky.
It's like,
yeah, it doesn't look good. Yeah, I agree with that.
Bulky, it's weird. It's. Mm-hmm.
She doesn't even have the weapon that should go with her alternate costume.
What's up with that?
Yeah, it's messed up.
I would love that costume. Wouldn't it be nice if we would get that weapon gloss that that they're selling us that they're showing on the slides with the costume. That'd be nice. So how about you, Rez?
That would be nice.
For my favorite burst animation, well, it's about to be Terra because trans Terra. I mean, I love, like, there are aspects in certain burst animations that I love, like, obviously, you know, Seth getting his one wing, and then Kuja becoming trans Kuja. But yeah, I mean, Furians is just so much fun. I don't even have his burst, but every time I've seen it, it's just, like you said, fast and flashy. But you know, Terra's coming out in less than 24 hours, so I'm gonna go with her.
I've never been a fan of Terra's burst animation. I'm sorry. It's like she stands in and then she's just like
Trans Terra.
Trans Terra. I'm sorry.
Trans Terra.
But again, it's not flashy. I'm flashy. All right, I like the flashiness. Furion. That's where I'm at. So. It's cool. I do love that she goes into her trance state, though. So, but I think they copied Final Fantasy IX, obviously.
Huh? Wait.
He's being sarcastic.
Obviously.
Thank you, Rez.
Okay.
Thank you.
Big Charlie.
I was like, wait, what did I just?
Forty was like, "Excuse me."
I think my favorite thing is how she just like.
I think the Final Fantasy remake copied Final Fantasy 7 a little bit. I mean, the opposite. Final Fantasy 7 copied the remake.
It did. It really did. So, all right.
But my favorite thing about Terra's burst animation is she absolutely decimates the enemies, and then she just turns around and looks up in the sky and just says "Sayonara," and she's just like, "Fuck you, bye."
Is that what it translates to? Damn.
Amazing. I love it. Just like, oh, Alicia, like I just wrecked you.
Savage Terra.
Oh man, that's funny. All right, guys. Tell you what. How about 2 more questions? Because I think Rez, it's like midnight something over there. Jen, it's still lunchtime for you.
And I'm over my lunch break.
Yeah, he's got to get back to work. He's got to work on that fans only page.
Yeah.
So 2 more 40. You get to pick the next one, fam. If one pops up, pick any. You make one up. That's fine.
Do you think Kadaj is a potential BT unit as the antagonist of Advent Children? I think it's possible because he's from a movie. He's not even in a game. I actually think it's possible. I think that one is possible, that he could potentially be the burst candidate for Advent Children as the main antagonist for Advent Children. I think so.
So
I hope so, but I feel like they probably wouldn't. But I hope so.
No, as a Final Fantasy VII fan, yes, he better. So wait, time out. All right, let's expand on that question. So, all right, he's a villain, all right, antagonist. Advent Children. Who would get the burst from that series, from that movie series?
Ooh.
Right? Because it's usually Marlene.
Marlene.
Oh, gee.
Tifa, give Tifa a burst. We'll all pull for it. They should just give her a burst.
Huh.
Man, Tifa burst. Oh man, yes, please.
Just make it Rufus. I'll be fine with, what is it, Dark Star? Yes. With Doggo? Mm-hmm. That's fine with me. So, yeah, I'm very curious. Well, I guess we'll see how that one pans out, but I am curious if they would pick another character from that. So,
I would fucking love a Swilbez costume without armor. Someone asked, if we can get Global First costumes.
I second that.
Well, didn't we get Global First costume with Vivi and, Balthier and Vincent? So those were all Global First costumes.
And I think Ace. Wasn't Ace one too? Right?
He was early, yeah. They didn't have him yet.
And wasn't Advent Children Tifa? Didn't we get it on Global First?
I think so, yeah. I think we did.
We did.
I just bought it. I didn't care.
Okay.
I just bought it.
I would love an armorless Swolbez though. Yes, please.
That'd be cool. All right, one more question. Jen, you get to pick the last one. It's bedtime. If any. Or you can make one up. So.
All right, how about I just ask you JP players after Garland, everyone's used their burst tokens up on Garland. Who should they be saving it up for next?
I'd save it for Power Meteori.
Yes.
He's right after.
Yes. His burst effects.
They don't have the time to build up their 50 burst tokens.
That's a. I guess it really depends, because the way I see it is I like to pick up some of these characters for the future. So after Garland, I would say Bart's because of his burst. I mean, he's strong when he does come out, but of course for his burst plus, Cloud of Darkness, she is very powerful upon when she debuts, and of course she gets a burst plus. Yuna, and then after that, I mean, if you already have Y'shtola, you're set. You already picked up Bart, so you're set. You're pretty much set for like the first part of the Lufenia Plus era. So after that, like Yuna, because of her auras, truthfully. What do you think, 40?
Yuna as from an unbiased standpoint, I actually agree with that. Yuna's burst effect and LD effect is actually really good. It actually really is. Like she becomes so much better, and I used her a lot after she got released. I actually took her to which Lufenia Plus was it? It was an earlier Lufenia Plus, but I did use her for Lufenia Plus. But she's great. She's awesome, and even as a friend unit, she's also amazing. Yeah, from an unbiased standpoint, because I love Golbez, and I actually think his BT effect is awesome. But like realistically, because this month does have some pretty hard-hitting bursts that are really good, with Terra and Garland, especially Garland, because Golbez is next, it might be kind of daunting to be like, oh, will I have enough for that? So if you want to be realistic about it and be like, all right, I think I could live without this character, then Yuna is a good pick for that. She's awesome.
All right. So there you go, guys. There you have it. And that is it for tonight's episode 7 of the Fireside Chat monthly podcast. All right. So thank you guys for watching it. If my fellow hosts would just go around and say where viewers may find you.
Jin Lee on YouTube. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you all my co-hosts.
OnlyFans. Twitter when?
And OnlyFans.
Okay.
Rez, so want to go next, or me?
Sure. Respoina, YouTube, Twitch, Discord. That's it.
40 the Broadway Saiyan, Twitch, Discord, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram.
And Lidz, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Rarely Facebook, but it's there. All right, guys. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. We greatly appreciate you guys coming out for the 7th episode, and we will see you guys. Now, gosh, damn! What is open them gifted subs? Holy shit!
Ending the stream on a hype note.
Wow! Holy crap, Lens! Thank you so much for the. Gosh, damn.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. But I appreciate that. All right, fam. Gosh, damn it. All right, here you go. There we go.
Cheers, Lens Hunter.
Cheers.
Thank you very much, fam. And again, thank you guys for joining us. We will see you guys next month. All right, guys, take it easy. Have a great night.
Thanks.
Peace.
Bye.